On the dais now for Notre Dame, we've head coach Muffet McGraw. Just a reminder, the student athletes are in the breakout rooms. They'll be available until 12:55. 2 rooms are located in the locker room area. The other 3 are in the Lexus Lounge. We'll start with questions. Right here with Doug.
Muffet, Doug Feinberg, the AP. I know during the season you talked about how difficult it was to get to where you are now. Can you talk for a minute about how difficult the journey was to get back to the title game, potentially win? I mean, there've only been a few teams that have won back-to-back championships in women's basketball, but how tough it's been for you guys?
I think the journey this year has been difficult for different reasons than it was last year. I think the expectation always weighs a little heavier on you. I don't think it weighed quite as heavy on the players as it did on the staff, because we just kept thinking we're supposed to win, we're supposed to be here. So I think after we beat Stanford, I think there was a big feeling of relief, more than excitement. But after last night's win, I think the excitement is definitely back.
Question right here.
Hi, Muffet. Howard Mandel with High Post Hoops. I know we talked a little bit about Jess's translation to the next level. I'm wondering if you could take me through how you see the rest of your starting lineup and the way in which they will be most effective at the next level.
I think that her game will transform into the WNBA, I think, pretty easily, because she can play the same type of position that she's playing now. So I think she's ready. I think her body is ready. She's in great shape. She can do a lot of things. She can handle the ball. I think she's ready right now for the next level. Brianna Turner, I think if anybody's looking for anybody that can defend any position on the floor and run the floor and just give you great attitude and a great work ethic every single day, I think she would be a tremendous fit for any team. Offensively, she's continuing to improve. You saw what she did at the free throw line last night. She's gone from a 50% shooter to about an 80% shooter. So she's really worked on her shot. And I think Jessica Shepard can score in so many ways. Plus, she's such an adept passer. She's somebody that can really play the high post really well. She's a great. Just a great facilitator. She can do so many things. She can rebound, she can outlet, she can get the break going, and she can finish the break. I think that her game is meant for that type of game, because she really can face the basket. I think she can shoot threes and she can play on the perimeter more than I probably let her. And then Marina is, set the assist record last night. She's somebody that can pass. She can certainly score. She's got the 3-point record at Notre Dame. She's smart. She's feisty. Everybody, as a coach, you'd love to coach a player like Marina, because she is such a competitor. She really never quits and inspires the rest of her team to do the same. Tremendous work ethic. And I think that if you need a shooter and somebody that can think the game, she's the one.
Question down here in the aisle.
Coach, Mary Fialo, Tampa Bay Times. Coach, having so many returners come back this season after winning the title last season, what type of value does that experience bring on your roster coming into tomorrow's game?
I think the experience is key. I think they've all been here before, with the exception of Brianna, and she was here, I think, as a freshman in the final game. So they've all had experience at this level. I think that there's no substitute for experience. I mean, really, at the end of the game, last night we looked really poised, didn't lose our composure, did some great things defensively. And so I think being in this moment before, I think, will help us.
Question right here in front.
Ava Wallace with the Washington Post. Coach, you've been in this kind of cycle of trying to win a national championship for back-to-back seasons, obviously. Has there been a moment, either this season or this weekend, where you've really been able to kind of take a breath and just realize the moment, or realize how much it means, or soak it in with your team?
We really haven't. You're in kind of just 100-mile-an-hour fast-forward mode right now, so haven't had an opportunity to really sit back and think about it, and probably won't until afterwards. But I don't know anything about winning back-to-back. This is the first try for us, so hopefully we'll be able to get it done.
Question right here for Michelle.
Michelle Vopel, ESPN.com. Coach, for a lot of years, Coach Summitt was sort of the de facto spokeswoman for any issue that came up about women's basketball, or sometimes just for collegiate sports. And I'm wondering if you've sort of felt like, because you've elevated to that role, and I think to some degree so has Kim, if you felt the need or you've the desire to be sort of that spokeswoman.
I think when we lost Pat Summitt, we lost an icon, but we also did lose the spokeswoman for our game. She did so many great things for women, for the women's game. She was always about what's best for the game, not what's best for me. She constantly empowered and promoted women, and I think when we lost her, we had a void. There was just nobody to fill that spot. And I think that you looked around and you wondered who would step up, maybe what would be sort of a point guard by committee kind of thing that you have in your game sometimes. So I've just felt the need to be able to stand up and express some things that I thought needed to be said. I think that she would have said them, or she would have been certainly been another voice that would step up and say them. I think our game needs somebody that's willing to step out, and because of the platform that I've been lucky to have, I thought it was a great time to say it.
Question here in the middle.
Coach Bruce Keating with Baylor Radio. Can you talk for a second about the difficulty? The two teams haven't played each other. You got 1 day to get ready, or a day and a half for this big game, and the problems that Baylor presents for you.
Yeah, they present a lot of problems. This is the first time we've played a team that has two outstanding post players. We've generally thought we had an advantage in the post, and that would be our game plan, was to go inside, and we do not feel that way. They have terrific players inside with Lauren Cox and Kalani. You know, the thing, Lauren, kind of similar, I think, to Jess in the way that she's got over 130 or 140 assists. I mean, she's a great facilitator at the high post. She can make the high post jumper. She can shoot threes. She can do a lot of things, and two great shot blockers in the back. So defensively, they're really kind of an intimidating presence inside. I think that our guards are pretty good, and I hope that our guards will be able to come out and play well. Because I don't know if we have mismatches necessarily, but I think once you get to this game, anything can happen.
Question right here, Howard.
Hi, Muffet. So you talked last year about how Jackie Young has a chance to be maybe the best player you've ever had, and you just went through the other four in your starting lineup, and they're significant WNBA prospects. So I just wonder, between all of that talent and winning a title on the doorstep of potentially winning another, where do you see this team within the history of your groups, where you have previous championships and loads of Final Fours to compare them to?
Yeah, we've had a couple of classes that went to every Final Four in their 4 years. This class has only been to two, but winning a championship certainly sets them apart. I think that statistically what they've been able to accomplish is pretty amazing. 10,000 points, the way they play together, the way they lead, everything they've done for our program to elevate us to get to this point and to represent us so well on the national scene outside of basketball. What Enrique did for us last year, and what the rest of them continue to do every day as role models, I think is phenomenal for all the young girls that are out there watching our team play. I think they're all great role models.
Question 2 here on the aisle. Start in the front.
Hi, Ellen Geyer, The Observer. You touched on this a little bit earlier, but last year, obviously going into the tournament, you were kind of the underdogs. This year, you're the favorite. How does that change your mentality from a coaching standpoint?
Well, I don't think we're the favorite tonight. I think Baylor's the overall #1 seed, but we're definitely in a different place than we were last year. Last year, we were giddy to get here. I mean, we just could not believe that it worked out through all the injuries and all the things that went wrong. So this year, it was a different mindset. It was more of a business trip. I think we came in kind of expecting that we should get here. And then when we got here, I think being able to really focus and understand why we were here, and not just happy to be here. This year we wanted to win.
Stay here on the aisle.
Anthony Anderson, South Bend Tribune. Hi, Muffet. Regarding the WNBA as well, how well have the four ladies you spoke of compartmentalized? I mean, they're getting ready for the biggest games of their lives these last few weeks, and yet also getting ready for their futures. They don't have that big window that NFL, NBA have. How well have they done with that? And as an aside, has Jackie made any type of decision?
It's yet another thing you look at, the difference between men and women. The women have a couple of days. I mean, the draft is Wednesday. They don't have time to search for agents, and they don't have time to make decisions. Jackie has not made one yet, but the other four, I mean, every game they go into, they're thinking about their future, because if they play poorly, they're wondering, is their stock going to drop? If they play well, is their stock going to rise? I mean, there's a lot of pressure on them in things that they shouldn't even really have to be thinking about that at this moment, at this juncture, when it's so important for us as a team to come out and play well without that hanging over their head. But they've handled it well. I mean, they've really handled it well. I think that they've all played well. They've certainly done some great things to make the WNBA coaches take a look at them. But, yeah, I mean, it's your future. Your future's hanging in the balance right now, and that's a lot for a 21, 22-year-old kid.
Question from Howard here.
Just to jump off that point, because, again, it really is this crazy tight turnaround. What should the model look like? Should it be in season? MLB has before the collegiate season is even done. How should it be designed, and should a WNBA combine be part of that as well to sort of separate that out?
I don't know how it should be designed. I think there's people that know a lot more than I do about the marketing part of it. It's difficult during the basketball season when you have the NBA, you have men's and women's college, and then to add the WNBA. I'm not sure the attendance would be as good as it is, having their own season. But certainly we could. This year I think it was even different because the season was pushed back a week. But certainly wait until for a couple more weeks, and going into May to start things. I think would be better for the student athletes, because they've also got to finish their degree. They still have to go to class, and we finished the first week in May, and it's worked out in the past where they can work with their professors, but to give them time to finish up in school, finish up with a lot of other things, and be able to graduate, and some of those things that are really a big part of their lives, and they're not able to do them. So it's worth the sacrifice for them, I'm sure they would say, but it also would be nice if they'd have a chance to kind of relax for a moment and enjoy this.
Question here from Doug.
Muffet, you guys had a great crowd the first two rounds at home, and then obviously Chicago, was Irish Green, sold out last night, sold out tomorrow night. Just talk for a minute, big picture, how this year and the last couple of years, it seems that women's basketball attendance has been pretty good across the board, across the country for the NCAAs.
Yeah, I think we set some records this year. The first and second round were tremendous, and then the regionals, I thought the committee just did a really good job of placing teams in places where they were going to get good crowds. We were so excited to be able to go to Chicago, and I think it was definitely great for the NCAA and for ESPN to see that. I think three sites were really, really well supported. When you have good crowds and the teams in the area that can get there, it's tough on the bracket. It's tough to be the 2 seed and have to go to a place where it's tough to be the 1 seed and go to the 2 seed. And you saw geography won out and the fans won out in those places. So I think that's a little bit tougher to look at. I know we were going to be one of those teams, at some point in the season until we won the ACC tournament. So I don't think you get rewarded for being a 1 seed and then have to go someplace where you're playing in front of the 2 seeds crowd. But, we got to do what's best for the game. And right now, getting attendance is what's best. Is there another model that works better? I think people are open and willing to try it, but we keep going like we're already, we've committed 3 or 4 years down the road. So when's it going to happen?
Question here from Michelle.
So, Coach, we asked Coach Mulkey a little bit about some of your comments on hiring women, and she said she agreed and supported you, but she was hesitant about the word never. She does have Bill Brox. He's been on the staff 16 years, and she also mentioned if my son ever wanted to coach alongside me, I'd love it, and mentioned, obviously, you have a son. Do you feel in some ways, was that misconstrued somewhat, that you weren't saying you're anti-male coach, you're saying you want opportunities for women? I guess if you could maybe talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I think we need more opportunities for women in coaching. I just hired a male video coordinator. I have just hired a male strength coach. I'm not opposed to hiring men. I just think that women need those opportunities, and those opportunities right now are going to men. And we keep looking at ways to get our young graduates and alums into the game, and there's no room for them in the game. Women are leaving the game because of the lack of a work-life balance. I think we can do a lot more to promote women as coaches, I think that that's really important, particularly when you have a male head coach. I think Gino's done a great job. He's always has an all-female staff, and I think that's a great way to bring more women into the game. I think we definitely need more women athletic directors, people who are doing the hiring, but head coaches are doing the hiring of their staffs. And when you look and you see more men than women on a women's staff, I think that's not the optics that I would like to see.
Anything else for Coach McGraw? Take two more here.
Muffet, I don't know the answer, but a lot's talked about your relationship in the past with other coaches you've played. What is your relationship with Kim? I don't know how much you actually see her because you guys are in different conferences and you don't think you play much in the regular season.
Yeah, I like her. We played probably a couple times back and forth, home and away, and then we played them in the tournament. I think last time we had two head women's coaches. I think was last time we were in the tournament with them. We don't really have a close relationship.
Michelle?
Piggyback a little bit on that, but both of you did play collegiately and then have become, I would say, iconic head coaches for your programs. I guess if you could address just how big of an impact both of you have had for a very long time on women's college basketball.
I think most of the women's coaches in our game have all played, and I think that's another difference between that and the men on our staffs. I think most of the women have played college basketball, and they've understand the game from the player's perspective. I think we've seen it change so much. I mean, I'm a lot older than Kim, but I've seen the changes from playing and what the Final Fours were like when she was playing and I was watching, and it's been amazing how far we've come. And I know we still have a long way to go, but just the attention to come to sellouts, to see so many fans traveling, to see people talking about it, to see celebrities and different people start to get involved in watching the game. I think we've really grown. I think it's been great for women. I think it's been you've seen the changes in the game and how the women are so much more skilled. You see somebody like Breonna Turner that can play above the rim a little bit, and you're seeing some young high school players that can do that. So I think the game is changing. It's still a great game and very different game than the men's game, but I think it's exciting to watch.
Question right here.
Muffet, you talked about what a whirlwind it was last year, and obviously in a lot of ways unexpected. But you had ample time now to prepare for what this season offered you. And I'm just wondering, were there some specific ways that you made a point of taking time to enjoy it, to sort of mark the time along the way, knowing that, this was potentially in the very near future for you?
That was the plan, but it failed miserably. We came into the season with all that on us. Number one, defending champs, and a lot of times defending champs aren't really because they don't have their team back, but we did. So we truly were the defending champs, and it was a burden. I mean, we talked early in December, maybe not early in December, maybe right before Christmas in December. We talked before the right after the Toledo game it was, and we were like, we're just not having any fun. And a lot of times the players will say that, but the coaches were saying it. We all just felt like it was just way too businesslike. We weren't enjoying it enough. And I think from then on we started to enjoy it more. They started to enjoy it a lot more. I still couldn't handle it. It was still. It's not a celebration when you're supposed to win and you win by 20. Then you're like, we didn't play well enough, and then you start getting really picky, and that was my problem most of the year.
Question here, Michelle.
Coach, you've said there's sort of maybe a subtle but definitive change when Skylar came into this program of confidence, of saying we don't have to be the gritty underdog all the time, and that's translated, I think, over to you personally. Is that fair to say, or not?
I always love being the underdog, and when Skylar came in and brought that swagger, which is something you don't see in women a lot. Women aren't supposed to have that swagger, and she managed to bring it while still being just a confident person with a little bit of a swagger, with a lot of charisma that could get people excited about the game. She had such a passion for it. And the way she wore it was really, really well done. I thought she role modeled that really well. And it was contagious. It went over to a lot of the other players who had a little bit of confidence, but not as much as she did. So that was great. And then when we got Enrique, she also transformed the way we kind of thought about our team. This team is a lot more confident, I think, than any team we've had in the past. I think Enrique has a lot to do with that. But all of them feel that as women, they often talk about when things happen in the world, with sexual harassment, domestic abuse, and they're like, can you imagine if somebody tried that on us? Like, there's no way we put up with that, because they have that strength and that confidence, and it is it's very different, and it's great to see, and it's great for the young kids watching our game to see.
We'll take a question from our junior journalism workshop back here.
Generals.
Hi, I'm Annabelle Anderson. I'm a part of Press Pass and also the Tampa Bay Local Organizing Committee. I have a question, and is, what advice do you have for aspiring young women who are interested in sports in the future?
I think the important thing that sports teaches you is so many life skills. You learn how to handle adversity, you learn how to sacrifice, you learn discipline. If you want to play on a team, sometimes your friends might be going to the pool or to the beach, and you might be in the gym working on your game. So it takes a lot of self-discipline and a lot of a commitment. If you want to really be good, you have to be willing to make the sacrifice. And I think it teaches you great things. When you go on in life, a lot of my former players just say, having gone through the experience of the toughness that I learned, I can pretty much handle anything in my life. So I would say if you want to go for it, you got to give it 100%.
And question right here.
I'm wondering, if you were to go back in time and you could maybe change your job, do you think you would, or do you think you would keep this job that you have now?
I love my job. I think I have the best job in the world, working at the University of Notre Dame, which I think is the best university in the country. I wouldn't change it for anything.
We'll take one more from the group here, down in front.
Hi, my name is Elizabeth Dominguez from the junior journalism thing, and I'm from Memorial Middle. And I would like to know, how do opportunities like this help the girls on the team get drafted in the WNBA?
I think when you play at a high level, you get on TV a lot more. People watch your games a lot more. And so everybody gets to see kind of the whole season. They're not just catching one game in the tournament. So I think the media attention, I think, is really good, because scouts can't go everywhere across the country all the time to find you. So being on TV, I think, really helps us.
Okay, thank you, Coach.
Thanks.
Thanks.